Okay, so today we are at Spring Damansara and I'm very excited to review yet another old condo, right? So let's go check this place out. Okay, now the guardhouse also has a very interesting design language, right? I don't actually understand why they decided to actually put this lighthouse punya design language over here lah. Like, are the guards supposed to stay up there or like be up there to kind of have a better view? That is just really weird, but quite an interesting weird concept lah. This video is not sponsored by e-community, Jaga M Nobody, right? But I want to say something over here because having this sort of system in place, right, actually helps you with maintenance being an issue. Because a lot of people nowadays, right, they don't like to pay for maintenance fee. So meaning your tenants or the landlords that resides in this area, right, you don't pay maintenance fee, then you cannot go into the house, no? So a very easy solution or concept. And I also like the fact that this particular condo has this very interesting camera system. Like if I look over here, stranger, they don't want to let me go in. Ayo, God, bagilah saya masuk. See, he also say tak boleh masuk. But this is a very good feature. But today, of course, I can go in because the landlord is with me. But I just want to give you an example of how condos can actually integrate systems in place, right, to actually make sure that the maintenance are paid on time lah. Okay, now I just want to briefly show you guys how large this floor plan is, right? If you look over here, A block, B block, C block, D, E, F. And then there's a car park area over here. So this is a very massive development, you know. Okay, one more thing about this particular old condo, they integrated an ANPR system over here. You can see it actually auto-recognized the number plate of the car to actually activate the access to get into the building lah. So essentially, what it means, right, it actually helps with the maintenance fee being paid. As I mentioned just now earlier on, if the tenant or the landlord don't pay for this, then obviously the number plate is going to actually default lah. Basically, they cannot open or access the unit already. So I think this is a very interesting concept that other condos should adopt as well. Guys, before we go and see this place, right, you are watching from the camera punya lens. So things may look a little bit prettier. Just bear in mind, this is a 19 to 20 years old condo as of today lah. So when you watch this video today, just remember that this is a rather old condo, right, 2 decades old. If you look at the overall landscaping, and this is like the centerpiece over here lah. You have a little bit of a water feature, a water fountain going on over here with a hint of Greek vineyard design. And when you look back there, this is the part whereby I find a bit odd, right? Because the guardhouse, what is this supposed to emulate a prison? Now this centerpiece place over here used to be a tadika punya tempat, but now has already been vacated. It's already empty lah, basically, as you can see, right, for quite many years already lah. So if somebody wants to rent this place, by all means, right, this is a rather strategic location in the condo itself that has quite a lot of people lah. So density, you have quite a fair bit. And now all these things over here that you see, right, I think they're going to do some refurbishment over here. Hence, they actually use this place as a storage room for the meantime lah. And to me personally, this driveway over here is actually rather quite decent. Quite a good spot, you know, actually. So this is a surround area, and because of the amount of density over here, it justifies having such a large space over here lah. So I think for the Muslim folks over here, you will enjoy this. Now walking over through the main entryway over here, right, I noticed something very odd. There is no street lamps completely lah. So if you look at the entire development, right, at night, I think this place is going to be gelap nama. So why don't they just put on some street lamps here and there, or maybe have some sort of spotlights to actually lit up the place lah. Now I'm not here at night, so obviously I wouldn't know how dark this place gets. But according to the owner, if you walk around here at night time, right, you need to take out your phone to the torchlight lah. So that is quite illogical, I would think. People that have cars over here might also find this a bit tricky because your house is over there and your car parks are over here. So essentially there is 6 floors over here, right, inclusive of the ground floor parking lot, and all the way up there is about 4 to 5 extra lah. So essentially all the residents, most of the residents, not all, okay, their car park lot is in this direction over here. So essentially you would have to walk quite a bit of a journey over there, and there's apparently no covered walkway. So maybe the management can take note of this, like have at least a covered walkway since the parking lot is so far from where you can actually reside, right? This is a bit of an odd decision. Now I'm typically a sucker for greeneries, and also I like how greeneries integrate with developments, right? But now this one doesn't look that appealing to me because of the water damage of the design right now. So obviously it's worn off quite a fair bit. 20+ year old condo, that's what you get. As I mentioned many times, right, I'm a sucker for greeneries, but in this instance over here, it actually made a defect towards the walkway over here. As you can see, there's a bit of a foot reflexology over here, right? You're supposed to walk like such. Ouch, ouch. Very painful, of course, but because the tree roots has also grown and gotten bigger, right? So this place also kembang upwards already. So now it's a bit of like an uneven stepway already. So as I mentioned just now, we were walking in from the car park area. We passed by block A, we are now at block B, and then block C is over here. D and E is actually the one connecting to the car park lots. But now this walkway over here is shed across A, B, C, D, E. They also went with this designer kind of look flooring, right? This is a bit unique because it has a lot of these different patterns going on, right? Uses different materials, which is quite interesting. You don't see this very much often in other newer condos, right? And I think for the fact that this is a 20-year-old condo, right? Looking at the floor right now, you don't see any sort of like algae or whatnot going on, and it's not like slippery, those type. So it means that they probably use water jet to actually kind of maintain the flooring as well, which I find that actually quite interesting and very well done. So just like I mentioned to you guys, right, like the car park area is connected to block D and block E. Now for the fact that actually you can directly come from this block over here to actually access the other units on that side over there. But the odd thing is that the awning over here is not present, you know. So when it's raining and you want to come from this entryway to your unit over there, you basically got to go under the rain. Why don't they just invest with more awnings over here and then just sort that out? Swimming pool number 1, swimming pool number 2, swimming pool number 3, swimming pool number 4, swimming pool number 5, swimming pool number 6, and finally we are at swimming pool number 7. Now, it's rather odd for them to keep so many swimming pools active, right? As you can see, some of the water features over here are no longer even operating anymore. Maybe the pump is not even running. So this is very odd, right? Because why do you need to maintain 7 swimming pools? Are there that many people in Malaysia wanting to be the next Olympian for swimming? I don't think so, right? And to me, right, the more swimming pool that you actually have, it just spells more maintenance or more management fee. So if it were for me to decide, now this is just my opinion, guys, I would consider converting some of the not so functional ones or not so pretty looking ones into a different type of concept. Maybe this could be like, I don't know, a skateboard ring, or maybe this could be where your koi fish are at. Something that is a bit low maintenance to maintain would be a better solution, because anything that has water or has pump or that people need to go inside one, you need it to be a certain level of hygiene. So for me, I would go with something else. So this is the 5th swimming pool, and in this 5th swimming pool, right, it's supposed to be the master one or the main one, but it doesn't look to be the most well maintained. I think swimming pool number 2 was the best. Okay, now this is supposed to be like a villa type of condo resort concept, right? And the swimming pool over here actually has 2 cafes, operating cafes, and also a mini market for you to get groceries. So this is actually quite a developed or quite interesting concept back in the days. So I think the developer wanted to make this a more communal kind of space, right, where people can actually interact with each other, have a place to actually do human interactions over here, I guess. Now, because it's a 2-decade-old property, right, you're obviously going to see very big trees over here. And now this one, I think, is one of the highlight trees that I've seen so far, right? Look at it, it just looks so fluffy, it looks so nice. You don't get to see this very often. Okay, now this actually reminds me a little bit of Irama Wangsa Maju, right? Now that one over there is also about the same age as this particular development, and it has a very similar design language and concept, like a villa condominium type. As you can see over there, right, some of the, actually all of the landed or ground floor unit, right, actually has this balcony whereby it's a yard area as well that you can walk down, which personally I wish more condo nowadays do lah, because I like this concept, assuming the compound and the area is safe. And when you come out over here, instantaneously you are already at your little garden that you can actually do like some small little gardening, or you can just straight away walk out, which is very convenient for the older folks out there lah. Now, because we are in Palm Springs, right, so obviously you see a lot of palm trees, and you also have a lot of coconut trees, which they're all actually fully developed already, and you see a lot of coconuts over there. So nanti Limon, you go and climb my thirsty lah. Damn! A few biji lah. Wow guys, I think it's the first time I've ever seen a condo actually have a Ramly store inside. So this is very interesting because of the amount of density over here, right? It justifies having a restaurant, not just one Ramly store, right, but two other restaurants over here. This is really an interesting concept. So high density doesn't mean bad, you know, because it provides more convenience with a convenience store, food, and even a Ramly burger, right? So for the days that you're just like, I want to stay home or I'm not feeling too well, you can just come down here and just easily sort things out lah. So I find high density developments to actually incorporate certain level of convenience for the residents. See? As I mentioned, the more density justifies more convenience, and there's even a Dobby store over here. So hi kakak. Bye-bye. Hey guys, the makan over here, according to the owner, lagi banyak orang during other days, you know. And look at this, it's rather active. Alright guys, I found the multi-purpose hall that is also the badminton court. And this is actually very sizable. There's actually 3 courts inside, and I know you can't see inside right now, but it's not bad. So this over here, right behind me, right, massive looking, right, this is supposed to be their community center or community hall where they're supposed to hold their AGM, their gym room, basically all the amenities are over here, the facilities are here. But it's no longer operating according to the owner, right, some part of it, especially the gym, right, for 10 plus years already. But long story short, I wanted to point this out even funnier, right. This used to be a mama or a bistro over here, and because the residents here are a little bit quote-unquote lazy, and days that you just want to crave for like a teh tarik and whatnot, right, or roti canai, apparently they put a string over here to go across on this thing over here lah. Then after that they will say, RM24, RM24. Then they will slide over the food, then after you can just take it from here. Because if you want to go to the mama or the retail over here, they have already locked the podium over there, or the bridge over there, connective bridge. You would have to walk out that direction and go over there. So it would make sense for the residents to want to do that lah, I guess. Guys, this one not I say one but the owner say one Here, all this lobang, right? These are the tikus punya den, tikus punya rumah. I never knew tikus punya rumah like this one. But that is very interesting. Okay, so this is supposed to be the connective bridge to the commercial area by the same developer, but they decided to actually close it up lah. Okay, and they even went to an extent where they put this part fencing already. I think the reason why they do so is because back in the days, probably a lot of unwanted guests come inside without access card lah. Well, I think this can be rather easily solved by putting proper access control, or potentially even having a guard station over here like the other condos that we've been to, like the establishment, right? So it's odd to see them actually reduce the amount of foot traffic accessing the commercial area, because in that commercial area over there, number one, you need to pay parking, and you're preventing this amount of foot traffic to go to your commercial site. I think a bit odd lah, a bit of a strange decision making over here. Okay, just look at this over here guys. This awning over here will cost you probably like how much? Maybe less than 100 ringgit to fix this up, right? And it's odd because that the loading bay is actually a rather small compound over here. Now, I'm not a very big person, right, you see. So, a rather sempit entryway, and also when it rains, right, then water is going to puddle up over here lah. Odd design, but I think can be resolved with the management lah. So, now we are at the unit lobby area right now, right? And I noticed that this pathway over here, essentially when it rains, right, I was told, some of the residents actually face this place flooding and puddling up, and then there's some sort of odor that comes out from this area lah. So essentially this particular location of this design is really gelap nama puy. Ayo. Now it's hard for me to imagine that this is a 500,000+ property, and sometimes it's really just because of the locations, how strategic it is, right? This is the refuse area, and there is no door, no nothing. It's an open air one. So now when wind blows, right, then your unit over there or the walkway over here is going to be smelling this lah, I don't think this is a very good design, in my opinion at least. Oh wow guys, I've just heard a very interesting story that I think this is the first time, right? Now during MCO times, right, this particular condo faced some cash flow issues with the maintenance fee, and it went to so bad extent whereby they didn't have enough money to actually pay the security guards, whereby the residents over here, right, lampu also they cannot change because no money, you know. And then because they were so dark, right, a lot of people started becoming burglars, you know, like stealing stuff from other residents. And the residents over here actually form a little small community, right? From 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. at night, right, they'll take their own torchlight and become security guard on their own. Wow. I think this is the first time I heard about this in any condo I've been to so far. That is scary. Okay, so this concludes Palm Springs condo review at Damansara. Now this location, right, to me personally is a 20-year-old property. The main highlight over here has to be its location only lah. Because when you look at the overall condo, right, and this price range personally is really not for me lah. But now I do see where the management and the maintenance are actually still on par to today's standards. As you can see from the facade, right, it actually looks not too bad. But when you walk inside the hallways and the lobby area, that's where it gets a little bit questionable, a little bit creepy to a certain extent lah. But I think this overall development over here, if you say for own stay wise and if the location is convenient for you, still rather decent because the size here is actually quite big lah. The layouts are actually quite big, 1,200 for 500,000, right? I think not bad lah for that sense. But in terms of the overall things as well, like for me, this particular property can do a bit of improvements here and there. And I think you also need to consider closing some of the swimming pools and converting them to something else so that you can ease the management and the maintenance fee also lah. I think these are just my personal take on this particular condo. You guys make your own decision as always. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.